Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to our Lost in LA Bumblecast. I'm John Gregory. We've got the dark-haired lady running the camera today. And then you can see the bunch is here. Oh, Triple T, taking a nap, relaxing here on the couch. Cato, I've got Olive down below here. You may not be able to see her right now. She's very rambunctious today, moving around quite a bit. You okay? They didn't get to go for a walk today, so they're a little wild, right, Olive? And believe it or not, the Orange Menace is here, too, observing from the sidelines. So we got the whole bunch here, and a busy day to talk about a lot of different things. We want to start by talking about Cato's situation. I know a lot of people have been following his health and concerns about his health, and pretty good news, I guess, dark-haired lady. He's doing okay, I guess.
Well, I took him back to the vet today for just a recheck and more lab work. So that's basically, she just checked his vitals. She took more blood and urine and sent the samples off to the lab. So we should have those hopefully late this evening or tomorrow. So I won't really know anything, but he has gained about half a pound since the last week when I brought him in, and he's kept all his food down and he's eating and drinking fine. So hopefully, fingers crossed, paws crossed, he is out of the woods. Yeah, hopefully he's better.
Yeah, so that is good to hear. Of course, we'll have more lab results and get those in, and we'll kind of get a final determination. Probably won't know exactly what it is. I'm guessing it was just some kind of stomach bug. But you know, never know with Cato. He's got a sensitive stomach to begin with, so it's always been an issue. A couple things we want to talk about today. Number one is the federal government has decided that the U.S. penny is no longer necessary and too expensive to produce, believe it or not. It takes 4 cents to make 1 cent, according to the U.S. Mint. And so the government has decided to do away with the penny. And I'm just curious if anybody's going to miss it. Does anybody feel it's something that should be done, shouldn't be done? All those sayings about pennies from heaven and I'll give you a penny for your thoughts. They don't matter. They won't matter to a whole generation soon because the penny won't be around anymore.
Well, it's not like the penny's not going to be around. I mean, it's not like you're going to take all the existing pennies and throw them away. I mean, they're still going to be in circulation somewhere. I'm sure people have pennies in their drawers, pennies under couches, and you know, I mean, there will be pennies out there. They're just not going to make new ones.
They're not going to make new ones, and for transactions, they're going to have to round up or round down. That's the plan right now. So I'm guessing most retailers will round up.
I mean, are they? What about if people pay in pennies?
I mean, if you pay in pennies, I guess you don't have to worry about that.
And if they have pennies, you know, like.
But when was the last time you paid anything in coins?
Right, I'm just saying. I mean, stores have pennies. It's not like they're gone. You know.
I have not carried any type of coin in my pockets for at least 3 years, I think.
You don't carry any change in your pockets?
No, I do everything with a credit card or my phone, Apple Pay.
I mean, I have a wallet and I have change in it, and there are pennies in there. So I mean, again, I don't pay a lot of cash either, but I have pennies. So
yeah, I don't use coins or cash really at all.
I don't really think that most people will notice unless an establishment refuses to take cash, which, I mean, there are those out there that don't take any kind of cash whatsoever. But
right.
I do think that you probably won't never see a penny again.
No, they're going to be around for a while. Collectors, of course, will keep them around too. It's interesting, though, that the nickel, the next higher denomination, actually costs even more to make than the penny. So you have to wonder if nickels are next. But
well, do nickels cost more than 5 cents?
Yeah, they cost more than 5 cents to make. I think it's like 14 cents. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm just curious if people are talking about it, concerned about it. And it's kind of a milestone historically when it comes to our currency and what we do with it.
I mean, is this just something that's happening in the current administration? I mean, they might bring pennies back in 4 years.
Yeah, you might have another administration come in and say, hey, we're bringing back the penny.
So this is just a temporary injunction on the penny.
Yes, possibly. But anyway, something to talk about. Another story that I thought was very interesting is a story out of New York, a news anchor of all things. She was doing the news, and she went into labor. Her water broke while she was doing the news. And what's remarkable is how calm she was through this whole thing. She didn't panic. She, in fact, said, I'm just going to stay and finish the newscast while she was in labor. I thought this was kind of amazing. You know, from a male perspective, when my wife told me her water broke, I went into panic mode. You know, I'm like hitting the alert button, and everybody had to like run to the hospital. But she was very cool, very calm, very collected, no concern really at all. and she finished the newscast and then went to the hospital afterward. First baby too, and she was very calm. I remember our first kid. We were kind of on alert all the time for any possible changes.
Right, but when our water broke with our paramedic son, the baby didn't happen for like 8 hours. So it all depends. It's I just
Well, that was her argument. I'd rather be at work than at the hospital, but I don't know. I think I'd rather be home, anywhere other than work if I was in labor. I don't know. That's a male take on it. What do I know? Other stories we're talking about, and this is kind of a personal story for me. It was 30 years ago this week that the craziest, wildest police chase in history happened. It was down in San Diego. I was a reporter at the time in San Diego, and I was literally in the middle of this chase when it happened. Just incredible. A man snuck onto a U.S. armory, a National Guard armory, and stole a tank, an M60 battle tank, and drove it off the lot, drove it down streets of San Diego, smashing into cars and motorhomes and light poles. It was just incredible and terrifying in so many ways because police couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't stop him. And we were right behind this guy with police, in large part because at the time our station did not have a helicopter. Today you see the helicopters following these chases around. Well, we didn't have a helicopter, so we would follow these chases, cover these chases by actually driving behind the police. So there we were driving down the street. I was driving and my photographer was videotaping, and we had another photographer as well. Mark Leinbach was out there videotaping. Brian Dunn was videotaping with me, and I was driving, and it was the craziest thing ever because nobody had ever seen anything like this. It was an M60 battle tank. It weighs 60 tons. The police simply could not stop it. The guy finally drove onto the center divider on the 163 freeway and got stuck. And that was the only thing that stopped him. What happened was a police officer who had some understanding of how these tanks worked and how to get into these tanks, he managed to climb onto this tank while this guy was trying to drive into oncoming traffic. He opened the tank up and he was able to stop this guy. Sadly, they'd have killed the guy, but what are you going to do? He was driving a tank. He would have killed a lot of people if he'd been able to get over that center divider and into oncoming traffic. So it was a bizarre, crazy story. Never seen anything like it. And I'm not sure we ever will again. I think they've taken some precautions since then in terms of, maybe taking the keys inside or locking these tanks up so you can't steal them so easily. But that was the craziest chase ever. I've got Olive here. Olive, come on, come. Oh, there you are. Climb on up. Oh, there you are. She's pretty wild today. I don't know what's going on with her. She didn't have her walk, so she's maybe a little amped up, hasn't burned any energy. But yeah, the boys here, they're tuckered out. So again, 30 years ago today is when that chase happened. And again, I don't think anything like that will ever happen again. They've taken some precautions, I'm sure, to keep that from happening. You can't just walk onto an armory lot and steal a tank. At least I hope not. I mean, I know at the time they did take some precautions. So yeah, craziest chase ever. We do have a review for you, a streaming show review. It is an Apple show called The Studio with Seth Rogen, and it is about a Hollywood movie studio executive who is trying to right a ship, turn the studio around, and bring it back into its glory days in a time when, of course, Hollywood is under threat from so many different things. The internet, social media, streaming, of course, is a big threat to movies too. But this executive, it's a comedy. Seth Rogen is the executive, and he leads the charge. And this show to me is laugh out loud funny at times. I love it. I think it's great. We just finished the first season. Dark-haired lady, you just like it, I think, more than love it.
I didn't laugh out loud as much as you did. I mean, it's amusing. I think it's clever and funny.
It's wacky and crazy at times.
Wacky. There's a lot of crazy characters.
Yeah, a great cast and a lot of great cameos, including big directors like Martin Scorsese's in one of these.
Ron Howard, big directors, big actors. Anthony Mackie. There's a lot of big names in the show.
Yeah, so great cast. I think it's a great show. Great writing, great acting, really funny at times.
It's very fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
Fast-paced. The dialogue is very fast.
But we enjoy that show, and we just finished the first season, and it is coming back for a second season on Apple TV. So if you're interested, if you like it, that is certainly some good news. A couple of notes for you. If you want to give us some comments on our Bumblecast, our Lost in LA Bumblecast, please let us know. Also, we're going to start asking for some video messages from people. Just a quick hello, your name, your pet's name. If you adopted your pet, you can tell us about that. And tell us if you're watching the Bumblecast. Hey, something like, hey, it's me, Joe, in Louisiana, and I'm watching the Bumblecast, and this is my pet, Skippy. Something like that. Something, and keep it short, because otherwise it gets a little too long. But yeah, that's the latest thing we're going to try. And you want them to message you on the Bumble Snot page? Is that how you want to do it?
Yeah, if you could message it on the Bumble Snot page, that would be great. Or even in comments under this Bumblecast.
Yeah, and then we'll incorporate it into the next Bumblecast, so you'll be in the show as well. So that is going to do it for now. Remember, we are all about adoption and rescue. A lot of dogs and cats out there that need a home, and these guys are a sample of what is available. Great pets and great friends you'll have for many years. And we hope you give it a shot. At least go down to your local shelter and check it out before you do get a pet. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.